Today's quantum computers aren't big enough or high performing enough to actually do something better than a classical computer. That's going to change pretty soon.
Quantum computers have the potential to completely change how we use technology in the future.
The computational power is off the charts.
What's about to happen with quantum computing is going to make the past look incredibly slow.
In a quantum computer, you can use that lingering interaction to do all sorts of really interesting types of calculations where different qubits have this kind of persistent ghostly connection with each other. And if you flip this qubit around, this one over here will feel it. And if you do that in a controlled way, you can move lots and lots of information around within your quantum mechanical system really efficiently.
Quantum computers in the labs that house them today look like this.
It's right where computers were in the 50s or 40s, where you had technicians plugging and unplugging things, all over the place on some wall of electronics.
In order to cool them down, you need an entire infrastructure of refrigeration. And so for that, we rely on what are known as dilution refrigerators. These dilution refrigerators allow us to cool down the chips to around 10 to 15 millikelvin. Besides the refrigerator, there's an entire suite of hardware components and coaxial cables, attenuators, microwave amplifiers, circulators, a whole bevy of components that all need to function at low temperatures to enable our quantum processors.
The quantum threat is the most absurd threat I have ever heard of. We're lifetimes away from quantum computing that is able to crack the blockchain. But do you realize that quantum computing is not something that's only going to be given to bad people? It's going to be given to good people. We will all still be on equal footing. But please understand that the blockchain will simply shift to a far more complex chain that the quantum computer creates, and then the quantum computer trying to uncreate it will have the same problem that you have today. When you say quantum computing is a threat, well, yes, if we're not allowed to get it ourselves. But please God, do you think that they're only going to sell quantum computers to bad people? No, sir. It's a ridiculous threat, and it's something that when people talk about it, I'm going, what is wrong with you? Number one, it's not here. People go, well, what happens when the comet hits the Earth? Which it will eventually. Well, I don't know. I can't tell you. It's not going to happen in my lifetime, and neither is sufficient computing from the quantum corner going to arrive in your lifetime.
I think the system within Bitcoin is such that it can be upgraded. Both the signing algorithm and the hashing algorithm can be switched out for other algorithms if we think that there is a need to do that. So quantum cryptography represents a threat only if it is unevenly distributed in commercial sectors, right? If quantum cryptography is available only to one actor and not all the actors, most likely, if quantum cryptography or quantum cryptanalysis and quantum computing is available only to one actor, that actor is a state actor. That actor is going to not use it for Bitcoin. What they're going to do is keep it secret and use it for the time when they're threatened by a cryptographically secured nuclear weapon or whatever. Some crazy idea like that. If there is enough availability of quantum computing that 99% of the mining capacity switches over, the chance that that's going to be controlled by one person is pretty slim. In fact, what you're going to end up doing is just switching everybody to running SHA on quantum computers, and then it's just the same as when we went from FPGA to ASIC. We're going to be looking at a different order of magnitude or several orders of magnitude in improvement. But keep in mind, running a quantum computer is neither free nor easy, right? It's going to be expensive in terms of energy and cooling costs, etc. And the electricity that you're not spending doing SHA, you're spending keeping the thing at 200 degrees below zero. So all of these things add up. We don't know what the economics will be. I try not to solve problems until problems are up, and I think Bitcoin is very much a system where we solve problems when it's necessary to solve problems. So we'll see.